Good afternoon and welcome into live coverage of the first session of the Aotearoa New Zealand Secondary School Swimming Championships 2024, live from the Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland National Aquatic Centre here. Joining me in commentary over the next 6 sessions, 2016 Olympian Matt Hutchins. Great to have you with us here at another fantastic secondary school meet.
Yeah, and good to be back. Always a great excuse to come around and watch some fast swimming and, get to be back here in Auckland after a few trips to Napier the last couple of meets. So excited to get this weekend underway and see some fast swimming.
154 kura schools here over the next 6 days and about 3,000 swimmers. A lot of entries too, so it's going to be a big one. In fact, 660 swimmers, 3,000 entries. One of the biggest we've had, Matt, and some of the stars from the national age groups earlier this year taking part.
Yeah, absolutely. Always great to see good participation in the high school stuff. And, being in Auckland, a number of schools just around the pool, so they'll probably be bringing in a few extra swimmers, maybe for some extra relay teams, a bit of school pride. And as you said, this week maybe a little bit of a precursor to National Short Course coming up in just a few weeks back here at the Aquatic Centre. So,
as you touched on, Matt, this is quite different to a normal national championships where you might get some water polo players, you might get other surfers, you might get other swimmers in the school that might want to come along and try and get those points for the schools. And, of course, being in Auckland, those numbers have really come through.
Yeah, and coming from a school that wasn't, massive on swimming, we only had a few swimmers. We were always pretty guilty of trying to wrap in anyone who could remotely swim at least a couple of 50s to get them in on some relay teams. And, at the same time, a great excuse if you're from outside of Auckland to get a few days off school, come in here and represent and have some fun with your friends.
Now, these 6 sessions will be timed finals. That means there won't be a heat and final. Each of these swimmers will need to swim as fast as they can every time, and we will be bunching together the age groups of the fastest swimmers. So they'll all be in the same race, racing off against those titles. Tonight we start, Matt, with the 400-metre freestyle for both the boys and the girls across the age groups, and then into relays for the most of the night.
Yeah, and I think, as you were saying, mixing up those age groups tends to favour, there's a lot of those younger swimmers in that 400 free who are maybe getting some good final heats against some of those top 18 and 17-year-olds, and I was talking to a couple of the younger swimmers. Great opportunity to go out there and just sort of sprint and hold on and, race those swimmers that are a few seconds faster than you and see if you can get dragged through to, a faster time here and set yourself up nicely for the coming weeks going into short course.
Well, a short course pool, 25-metre pool here, should see some fast times with them coming off the wall really quickly. We'll be back after this break to talk about World Drowning Prevention Day.
Apollo Projects is New Zealand's trusted specialist for the design and construction of sports, aquatics and education centres, and is proud to be the principal sponsor of Swimming New Zealand.
Hey, sport is about more than just the game. It's about going from teammates to best mates. It's the high fives and helping hands. It's learning when to back yourself or back your buddies. It's actually being excited to get out of bed early on a Saturday. Sport is about more than just the game. That's why Caltex is proud to help fuel school sports.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on Whakaata Māori and also to the supporters here at the National Aquatic Centre. Today is World Drowning Prevention Day. It's a great opportunity for our swimmers to reflect on their journey to entering the 2024 New Zealand Aotearoa Secondary School Swimming Championships. And for those watching in the stands or at home, we're grateful for your support of swimming at these championships. Everyone swimming here this weekend has learnt the life skill of how to swim, and that has enabled you all to be here today. Our swimmers have already participated in a 90-second float earlier at the start of the warm-up this evening as part of partnering with Drowning Prevention Auckland. I'm joined by Swimming New Zealand's Head of Participation, Competition and Engagement, Dale Johnson, as we recognise this very important day, Dale. It's a great opportunity to discuss why it's so important to learn to swim. Dale, talk us through it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the most important life skills to learn. I mean, the culture in New Zealand, it's really an integral part of the culture, and we really want to see everyone learning that opportunity, getting active in the water and really learning to swim. It really helps foster a lifelong love of the water, and that's something that we do see throughout the country.
Now, Dale, learning to swim opens up so many opportunities for the future, not just to swim. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's not just those that are here at the pool today. Obviously, they've all learnt to swim and they're having a go at the competitive swimming, but it's also just opens up opportunities, whether that be going to play water polo or being active in the water, swimming for health and fitness. Obviously, all opportunities in the water, whether you go kayaking, surf life saving, surfing. Swimming is a gateway to any aquatic activity, and it's really one of those, not only like a really important life skill so that you can be safe in the water, but it opens up so many opportunities in the whole aquatic space.
Yeah, I think it definitely builds on confidence, whether it be snorkeling or being on a boat and worrying about whether you're going to fall overboard. It's very, very important. Well, we're proud to be supporting World Drowning Prevention Day. Thanks, Dale, for joining us. We'll be back after this break to bring on the technical officials to kick off session number 1.
This is an opportunity that we can't pass up.
Welcome back to the Aotearoa New Zealand Secondary School Swimming Championships. This is day 1, session number 1, live from the Owen Glen National Aquatic Centre in Auckland. And we'd now like to introduce our technical officials for this evening's session. Our referee for tonight's session is Diane Farmer. Our starter for tonight's session is Greg Forsyth. Technical director for these championships is Carlreen Gillespie. We'll be back after this short break to get underway with the 400 metres freestyle.
This isn't an ad about four-wheel drives. It's about knowing the place, as well as the locals.
You found the place. That's a good start. Built by my great-grandfather.
Hey! Sport is about more than just the game. It's about going from teammates to best mates. It's the high fives and helping hands. It's learning when to back yourself or back your buddies. It's actually being excited to get out of bed early on a Saturday. Sport is about more than just the game. That's why Caltex is proud to help fuel school sports.
This is an opportunity that we can't pass up.
Apollo Projects is New Zealand's trusted specialist for the design and construction of sports, aquatics and education centres, and is proud to be the principal sponsor of Swimming New Zealand.
Welcome back into the Aotearoa New Zealand Secondary School Swimming Championships. And there is the program for tonight's first session. Only 2 individual events this evening. The 400 metres ko-tāwhai freestyle for both the boys and the girls, followed by the 4x50 metre medley relay for all the age groups. We've got the boys and girls under 16, and then the boys and girls 16 and over, then finishing with the 4x100 metre freestyle relay. Now, Matt Hutchins, a very, very big swimming competition starting on Saturday over there in Paris. Very much looking forward to this one, as will most of New Zealand, with our fantastic team of swimmers over there.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting underway with a very similar schedule. 400 freestyles and a couple of relays on Saturday night. So, Erica and Eve in the water first day up. So very exciting for New Zealand. Great chance at a couple of finalists there for New Zealand. I heard a little rumour that perhaps on Sunday morning we're going to have it up here on the big screen, getting in a little bit early for anyone that wants to come along and watch. But yeah, no, very exciting. And seeing all the stuff on social media from Lewis and Tycho and Cam, and it's such a good time to be able to see the inside of how that world works for so many people. And yeah, just all around pretty exciting.
I think that's so true. Back 10, 15 years ago, you just wouldn't have had that insight of walking into their living quarters and the phones they got and all these different things.
Well, even 8 years ago, I was talking to someone the other day. 8 years ago, I got told off for filming videos inside the facilities and stuff like that. I posted a video from inside the pool, and there was a message, and they're like, sorry, you can't post that. But now, every athlete that has a phone is on TikTok or on Instagram. So, really exciting for, athletes here in the 13, 14, those teenagers getting a chance to see what it's like, builds that excitement. I mean, it's been 8 years since I've been on. Connor's getting a little bit of FOMO, a little bit of missing out, but it's exciting to see everyone experiencing that. So, and those young guys, those young swimmers on the team, first timers, they so much to take in these first couple of weeks, and just hopefully it's something that they take the time to, take on board. Don't just rush through it. Don't just focus on the swimming. Really take into account, the moment and everything they've done to get there, and hopefully it shows in the pool.
I hope we haven't jinxed it. We've got, as you said, on the big screen, Erica Fairweather. She's currently 4th in the world. She's got a little bit of work to do to get up to those other 3 girls, down to the 355s, 356s. But, man, if it's anything we've seen in the last 2 or 3 years, Matt, anything can happen with Erica Fairweather. She is such a competitor and works incredibly hard down there in Dunedin.
Yeah, and as we saw at the last Olympics, really stepped up to the big occasion. It's just a shame that she's 5th fastest of all time, and the top 3 are all racing her at the same time. So got her work cut out for her, but I'm sure she's up for it.
Okay, we're now going to hand over to our technical officials to get us underway with session number 1. And we kick off with the unseeded heats. Heat number 1 of the 400 metres ko-tāwhai freestyle. Starting with Aratua Kore, lane 1. It is Kai Sasamoto. Tahi is Henry Wang. Urua is Yifan Zhang. Toru is Brian Zhong. Fa is Caden Fuataima. Rima is Sheldon Hogan. Ono is Jackson Rollins. Fitu is Zandre Herbst. And Waru is Henry Wang. Apologies, Iwa, Henry Wang. Sheldon Hogan takes them through the first 150 metres. Out there on his own at the moment. The middle lane's not too far behind.
Yeah, Yifan Zhang, but a really good commanding swim here out of lane 5, Sheldon Hogan, across the, one of the lone 14-year-old, one of the two 14-year-olds in this first heat. So, as we said earlier, probably a precursor for a few weeks' time in that 13, 14-year-old age group finals that we'll see there here at Short Course Nationals. But a very strong swim in Heat 1, always tough being in the first heat, kind of tasked with setting the pace for the rest of the field. So Sheldon's doing a great job here. Out through in a 2:07, 1:06, 1:05 for that second 100. So he'll be wanting to settle in to that pace.
And not wanting to leave anything on the line here, these age group swimmers, you can often, well not often, you can sometimes see the swimmers in the earlier heats surprise the ones in the latter heats and get themselves in medal contention.
Yeah, I think you find sometimes, especially in timed finals, sometimes that last heat tends to race each other. Not often in the last heat do you have something like this where one swimmer takes off and leads the field. Quite often they're stuck racing, so it takes people like Sheldon here to go out and set that pace early, really put the pressure on the heats behind him, especially in this under 16-year-old age group. The next couple of heats will have some of those top swimmers in it. They'll be keeping an eye on the clock.
And Ara Tuarua, lane 2, going well. This is Yifan Zhang. He's sitting in second place, just pulling into that position now. He's done a good last 100. But all having it his own way is Sheldon Hogan, lane 5.
And it does look like coming off into this 50, moving up into second place. Henry Wang's really starting to bring those legs in, putting himself to half a body length ahead here into that second place. But it is all Sheldon Wang through 350 metres. If he holds this pace, looking about a 4:10 potentially here through the first heat.
Tauranga Boys College represent. He's coming down to touch now. Let's see, he comes in 4:21.33. An entry time of 4:30.27. He's gone just under 9 seconds faster and kicks it off well for Tauranga Boys College, does Sheldon Hogan.
Yeah, and Yifan Zhang in lane 2 managed to pull that back there with a great last 50 under that 32 seconds there on that split. So great closing speed.
Next up is the second of the time finals, Whiringatoa. And this is the Kautapai 400 metres freestyle. And that official result there, 5 seconds separating first to second. Good swim there. Ara Tua Kore is Tyler Lushcott. Tahi is Grayson Swanepoel. Rua is Taka Sugiyama. Toro is Finlay McNabb. Fa is Samuel Asiata. Rima is Aidan Taylor. Ono, Ewan Beadle. Fitu is Imedek Savri. Waru is Josiah Joyce. And Iwa is Owen Jack. The second of the time finals of the 400 metres freestyle, Ko Tawha Pai. And these swimmers really needing to concentrate on their turns. 400 metre freestyle, 15 turns to do over this event, and race is certainly won and lost in some good and bad turns. Wanting to really get a tight tumble, look at their distance from the wall, good streamline, good dolphin kick off that wall, trying not to breathe off that first stroke. Matt, this was your event. Was that about right?
Yeah, and I've always maintained that I believe the short course 400 metres freestyle should be eligible for counters like they do in the 800 and the 1500. Sometimes you get into that race and 16 is just sometimes too big of a number to be thinking about. But you are right, going through those 15 turns, it's one of those things I always explain to some of the kids that I teach, and, you know, they're always like, oh, turns aren't that important. You think 15 times 0.2 of a second, suddenly you're already up a second and a half, 2 seconds without actually having to swim any faster. So being able to keep that rhythm, that momentum, really the goal of that turn, keep your speed the same in and out of the wall through that good explosive power. So super important, you know, in all the distances in a short course pool, but especially when you get to something like the 400, that 800 sort of distance.
Ara Tuarua, lane 2. This is Taka Sugiyama takes them through, and Josiah Joyce over there in Aratua Waru. Not really identifying each other. They're too far apart. One's breathing the other way. They go through the 250 metre mark. 6 lengths to go here in the second of the time finals. One of only 2 individual events tonight, followed by relays. Nice fun way to get us underway on session 1 of 6 here.
Yeah, and it's almost like these two guys, they breathe the same direction, so what they each get to look at each other go in opposite directions, but never kind of get to see each other coming into that wall. But it is Taka Sugiyama just in front. He starts to breathe off to his right. Josiah Joyce breathes to his right, so he's checking back over here.
And starting to see some of the experienced middle distance swimmers here starting to pull away in that second 200, that negative split. Trying not to keep it pretty consistent in that first 200.
Yeah.
Conserve some energy.
And Taka's stroke here looking really, really strong. The arms are staying long. He's staying strong just while that kick picks up. So he's not rushing it just yet, which is a really good sign that he's staying relaxed as he builds into this race, saving it for this last 50. And you can see he's just sort of inched away a half a second, quarter of a second each 50 over this last half of the race. And a nice, strong butterfly kick off that wall to set himself up and maintain that speed. And he'll certainly take out heat number 2 here.
Coming through to finish. Big wide strokes to come in. 4:15.33 for Taka Sugiyama, and that's an 8-second improvement on the entry time. He swims for Otago Boys High School. And that concludes the second of our time finals. This is the third Whiringatoa time final of the boys 400 metres Kotawhai freestyle. In Aratua Kore, lane 0, Daniel Lowe. Tahi is Alex Sanford. Rua, Asher Smith-Franklin. Toru, Neo Ehrlich. Fa, Charlie Shivnan. Rima, Bradley Searle. Ono is Luke Jackson. Fitu is Bo Nicholson. And Iwa is Alexander Coppershon. And a nice start by Luke Jackson here and Bradley Searle in 5 and 6. They go through the 100 first under the minute.
Yeah, 4 swimmers there through in under 59 seconds. A little bit more balanced across the pool than we've seen in the previous 2 races. So, yeah, really anyone that's getting out under that minute mark at the start, really setting themselves up nicely for a good swim. And these boys will be taking their time. This very easy to lax off a little bit in the second 100, so very important to set that rhythm, set that pace now. As we were saying before, a lot of that comes down to those turns. You don't want to get to ease up into those turns. Tends to tire you out more than you think it does instead of just keeping up that speed. But it looks like early on we've got a good race. Luke Jackson there, 31 seconds through that 50.
What's been impressive so far for me, Matt, is these times, these entry times, they're smashing them. I mean, the last heat won at 4:15. That's faster than all of the swimmers in here on paper. Hopefully we'll see that theme continue throughout these time finals this afternoon.
Fingers crossed. And I remember last year we saw a lot of that as well. You know, a lot of that. We even saw some national records broken last year. A lot of these swimmers may be coming here just at the start of taper, getting ready for a short course in a few weeks. So it's a great chance to come in here, try out some new race strategies, let it flow. There's no real pressure, just coming out, having fun. And quite often just that relaxed mentality can lead to some really fast swimming.
Probably want to impress their other schoolmates too, I reckon. Show I'm the swimmer here, I'm going to smash it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of these kids probably come from schools where there's 1 or 2 swimmers, so it's a chance to be like, this is actually what I do, so yeah, this is why I'm known as the swimming kid. So, and then, you know, those schools that maybe it's your chance to race on a team with swimmers from other clubs, but now you're at the same school and you're still trying to represent your club just a little bit harder, just to make sure you've still got those bragging rights when you go back to maths class next week or something like that.
Aratua Iwa, lane 9 starting to come through. Alexander Coppershon, also Alex Sanford here from Coast, swimming for Coast, but just checking he's from Whangaparaoa College. Got the Coast cap on. And a number of talented swimmers up there in the Hibiscus Coast.
And then Luke Jackson in lane 6. A few of these swimmers still representing the club caps, like we were talking about, throwing us off a little bit. Not used to seeing these swimmers with different names after for their team, so it takes a little bit of adjusting. But this is going to be a great swim here into the finish, into the last turn.
50 metres to go here. Alex Sanford in Aratua Tahi. And he is a 100, 200 metre specialist here, and really starting to exert himself over the 400, stretching himself a little bit here in the distance.
Yeah, really nice long stroke, getting that right arm long over the water. Maintaining that stroke length is so important at the end of these middle distance races.
Sanford can see Jackson on the other side, buries the head. I think Sanford's going to get there for the win. 4:13.45. Another fantastic swim this evening. And Asher Smith-Franklin, the 18-year-old, swimming in the S14 impairment class, might well have done a New Zealand record. We will check that out. And needed a 4:15.29, which was just under 3 seconds faster than his best. We will come back to you on that one. That could well be a New Zealand record, S14. Next up is the 4th Whiringatoa time final. Aratua Kore, lane 1, Miles Julian. Tahi is Sam Rowe. Rua is Jaden Dickerson. Toru is Jack Barton. Fa is Jacob Humphreys. Rima is Randall Lee. Ono is Charlie Dickerson. Fitu is Luke Gibson. Waru is Nemanja Markovic. And Iwa is William McFarlane. And that was a New Zealand record S14 for Asher Smith-Franklin. He lowered it from 4:26 to 4:15. What a swim, 11 seconds off, continuing his record-breaking form we usually see him in. And this one has been led out by Jacob Humphreys from Westlake Boys High School in Aratua Wha, lane 4. Looking smooth and in control through this first 150 metres. Out there in lane 7, Luke Gibson. And some really solid whakatete racing so far with some great swims. And this will set themselves, always good to have a good first swim, isn't it, Matt, in the early stage of the champs. Set yourselves up for the rest of the meet. Gives you that confidence, which is often so important.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, a lot of these swimmers, especially those ones outside of Auckland, have travelled up today, made that trip. So getting in, having a good race today, maybe you're feeling a little bit groggy from the flight or a long car ride. So good to get that confidence in, get that flush out and get the momentum rolling for the week. And as you're saying, you know, the great competition across the pool. So great opportunity as well to set the tone for your school. Obviously, Westlake Boys are a school we're going to hear a lot of tonight with the big relays and probably throughout the weekend, being a very prominent school here in Auckland.
Yeah, Westlake Boys has a special place in my heart. That's where I went. I swum for Westlake and remember coming to many of these. They weren't nearly as big back then, too many years ago. They were very, very small. Now 680 swimmers here, Matt, this week. Great to see the secondary school swimming sports going so well.
Yeah, absolutely. As we were saying in the opening, you know, I think the school side of sports, you know, especially in the sport of swimming, not quite or hasn't been that big in the country, you know, the last couple of years, something that's really massive overseas. And I think it's only really going to be good for the sport seeing, you know, the school pride, the school competition take over. It's just another avenue to get these swimmers out there racing, competing, and essentially the more racing you can be doing, the more chance we have to really produce some good swimmers.
And in the final 50, coming through to the Mutanga, the finish. And the toa, the winner, will be Jacob Humphreys. He's pulled away in the final 100, well away from Luke Gibson there. He's going to hold on, though, to a fast-finishing Jack Barton in lane 3. And good lot of crowd support here from their schoolmates on the side of the pool. And Matt, let's have a look at the times on the board here. Again, 4:06.70. It's a couple of seconds off the entry time. We move to the 5th and final Whiringa Toa time final of the boys 400 metres ko-tāwhai freestyle. Ara Tua Kore is Alfie Weatherston Harvey. Tahi is Jack Love. Rua Fraser Walker. Toru Kevin Zhang. Fa Brendan Visser. Rima Ariel Machirahondo. Ono is Jack Potier. Fitu is Soren Wells. Waru is Leo English. And Iwa is Daniel Craigting.
Yeah, and just going across there, a lot of really familiar names out there from many of our age group champs done together. Brendan Visser, swimming from Rangitoto College, the Coast Swim Club product, a really good distance swimmer. We saw him, I'm pretty sure, take out every event he swam. It seemed like at Nags earlier in the year. Next to him, Ariel Machirahondo from Sumaroturua, John Paul College this weekend. We saw him go near so many national records earlier in the year, one of our top age group swimmers, still at the age of 15 here. Over in that far side, Leo English, teammate or club teammate of Ariel Machirahondo, came off a national record swim in this event last weekend, going under the 4-minute barrier, and he's looking to set the pace here early.
Now, the age difference is here quite interesting. Machirahondo at 15 and Visser at 18, lane 5 and 4. And just noting there, Matt, your own New Zealand record, 3:54.19 for the 15-year-old boys. Will that be under threat tonight?
It's one of those things, every time I commentate, I always see that name. It makes me a little bit nervous. Ariel Machirahondo's definitely got a shot at that. He's a very, very talented young swimmer, very, very fast swimmer.
So we go through the 200 metre. Let's have a look how they're tracking. 1:55.61. Machirahondo takes the lead from Brendan Visser.
Yeah, and Ariel Machirahondo really taking this middle section of the race to get going over there. Again, his teammate Leo English, the 14-year-old, he's putting in a good effort here, hanging in the race, coming off that 3:59.59 last weekend, so he'll be on track to go faster than his entry time, but will it be faster than that? Ariel Machirahondo hasn't won this race. You see it, Brendan Visser coming back at him. Ariel, really good skills there, great turns, very consistent, 1 or 2 butterfly kicks off that wall.
Yeah, Brendan Visser, he's 3 years as senior. He's a national champion in 1,500 metres freestyle. And are now starting to put the effort in now. Kevin Zhang also there, breathing towards each other. Machirahondo has got it by half a body length. A very, very good hurdy there, a very good turn.
Yeah, and when you look at it, and something like this, you'd back Brendan Visser or Kevin Zhang in a sprint to the finish, but Ariel's done a really good job setting himself up there. Nearly a full second on them at the turn. Hard to give that up over the last 50 metres. He's going to come flying home.
Well, Matt, we talked about at the beginning. Let's see how fast they can go here. 3:55 New Zealand record. And now Brendan Visser starting to come back. What a mutanga finish for Brendan Visser. Brendan Visser's going to take it. He'll get it for his age group.
And really good swims there across the board. The top 6, all coming in under that 4-minute mark. A really great last 50 metres there by Brendan Visser. As I said, you'd back him over the last 25 metres on a sprint and really just powered home. Leo English over the 14-year-old in lane 8, smashing his national age group record that he set last weekend by another nearly 2 seconds. So really great swimming here to start off in the first event of the night.
Well, that concludes event number 1. We move now to event number 2, and it is the girls 400 metres ko-tāwhai freestyle. There are 4 heats or timed finals. And we'll hand you across to our technical officials. Aratua Toru, lane 3, Scarlett Wadham. In far, it's Brooke Humphreys and Rima Victoria Aburn. Two 13-year-olds, St Matthew's Collegiate and St Hilda's Collegiate, lanes 3 and 5. And Brooke Humphreys, the 14-year-old in the field from Westlake Girls High School. On the north shore here of Tamaki Makaurau.
Through the first 150 metres here of this first heat of the 400 freestyle, Brooke Humphreys looking very strong there, taking out these girls, are commanding 1.5 body lengths here early on, so she'll be looking to build on that time. An entry of 4:47.61, and if we're following the trend of tonight, very likely that she will be under that time. Very nice, relaxed arm stroke, keeps the arms up in front of her, nice and relaxed. Very steady kick.
Thanks for tuning in to Whakaata Māori and watching at home. If you're there, supporting your children, your friends, your grandchildren perhaps, thank you for watching. And with 150 metres to swim, Brooke Humphreys got a comfortable lead here in Aratua Wha, lane 4. And the Westlake team over there got a big contingent with 2 separate schools, the boys' school and the girls' school, both with well over 2,000, I think. It's a big school combined. And trying to keep a really efficient stroke here, concentrating on the catch at the front. Nice streamlined breathing positions.
And doing a really good job of maintaining that distance off the wall, kicking out to those flags just around that 5 metre area every time. Takes a quick look up to see if the timekeepers are standing up. May have lost count there, so as she goes into this last 50 metres, we'll see her bring that kick in a little bit faster.
A 4:47.61, Matt, the best time for this 14-year-old. Pretty smart time. Let's see whether she can duck underneath it, as the boys have done throughout their time finals. And that rating certainly has come up in that final 50. wanting to give whatever energy she's got left in that final 50. She comes through just outside of her entry time to win this first time final. Next up is our time final, Whiringatawa, for the 400 metres ko-tawhai freestyle. In Aratua Kore, it's Phoebe Nettle. Tahi is Sophie Peters. Toru is Millie Skidmore. Fa is Indiana Riley. Rima is Mila Gwiadzinski. Ono is Helena Yule. Fitu is Maeve McDonnell. Waru is Violet Carter. And Iwa is Renee Dressner from Tauranga Girls College. And pretty close amongst the middle lanes here as they set off in this 400 metres freestyle. Coming through to the 75 metre mark. And it is Helena Yule that takes them through. But a good turn there. A good hoodie for Indiana Riley in 4. And let's see if she can get the same sort of distance off this one.
Yeah, and Helena and Indiana going back and forth here. Really noticeable. Just that slight difference in stroke rate here between these two girls in the heat previously. Slightly higher tempo on those arms, really setting themselves up nicely. It's always one of those things in a 400. If you start off slow, it's much harder to get that stroke rate up. So getting out there early with a good, consistent tempo, setting your rhythm, set yourself up so nicely for the rest of the race. And while they were going back and forth over that first 100 metres, it looks like perhaps it will be Helena Yule there taking us through the 150 metres. Opens up a little bit of a gap here.
Swimming for Rangitoto College, Helena Yule. And Indiana Riley for Waikato Diocesan School. Let's talk, Matt, through what they do with the kick in the 400 metre freestyle. Obviously a very important part to keep balance in the stroke, but wanting to kind of keep it at probably not such a ferocious pace in the early stages.
Yeah, no, I mean, everyone has their own systems, but yes, you often find maybe those 400 freestylers are maybe looking at more of that 2-3 beat kick, a little bit of balance, enough just to take some pressure off the arms early on in the race. It's mostly there for that balance, a little bit of consistency, and often you're just trying to build that kick every 100 metres. You start off that first 50 pretty strong, and then you settle into your rhythm. Everyone has their own 400 pace, whether or not that's heavy on the arms, heavier on the legs, but the legs are half of your body, so it's very hard to maintain that over a 4.5 minute race. So you often find, and underwaters as well, you're not often looking for those 4-5 really fast kicks. 2 or 3 good solid kicks gets you up, gets you into rhythm and up to pace.
I can imagine it forms quite an important part of the training as a middle distance swimmer, the freestyle kick. And Helena Yule leads at the moment by half a body length over Indiana Riley, with coming up to 100 metres to swim here. This is time final Rua number 2. And the ages, unlike some of the other individual events this week, they're all together here with some of the shorter swims. We will separate them out into their 13, 14, 15 and so forth. So they'll all swim together in their age. But for the distance events, they're all grouped together based on their entry time. And this is a late charge here by Indiana Riley. 50 metres to swim.
and they've been going back and forth at each other all race, so no doubt this is going to come down to a final 15-metre sprint like we've seen so many times here tonight. Indiana Riley closing that gap, 0.6 of a second faster over that 50. And it looks like she's moving her way in front here going into the final turn, timing her swim very, very well.
She has indeed. Is that had a little bit more gas in the tank here. Hungry for the win. And let's see what she gets on the board. An entry time of 4:38. She's done a 4:33. The green times for those here at the Aquatic Centre showing a time faster than their entry time. And looks like about 7 of those girls have swum a time faster than their entry time, which is great to see. And that is the second of our time finals. The third Wheningatoa time final of the girls 400 metres Kotawhai freestyle. Aratua Kore is Tandia Fisher. Tahi is Marina Nadillo. Rua is Indy Leeds. Toru is Grace Henderson. Fa is Paige Conley. Rima is Alexa Spacini. Ono is Shay Jackson. Fitu Scout Carter. Waru is Rio Sasamoto. And Iwa is Laura Menzies. And Iwa, lane 9, Laura Menzies has gone out quite quickly by a second in front through that first 50. Talk about setting a good pace in the early stage. She's certainly doing that, Matt.
Absolutely, and talk about a little bit of outside smoke. Every time, every event, there's always got to be one person that takes it from that outside lane. You get a good view back across the pool. No one can really see you out there, especially those swimmers in the middle lane. So, use it to your advantage. Get out there, go and have a good swim. So we'll see how Laura Menzies' approach carries on. And we saw her earlier in the year at National Age Groups, took this approach into those medley races, just puts herself out and sees how long she can hold on. Swimmer from Selwyn Swim Club.
Yeah, you wonder whether she has just been putting in the work, putting in whakangurgu, the training, or she just hasn't swum in a while and she's really wanting to have a good hit out. But I'm liking this confidence here from Laura Menzies. She's holding that lead through to the 125-metre mark, being chased hard by lane 3 and 4, Charlotte Aburn and Brooke Bennett. Paige Conley and Alexis Bassini.
And maintaining well those splits. She's not giving up too much distance just yet, but I think we're going to see here going through the 200-metre mark, maybe the field's just closing in a little bit on her. It can be a very long second 200 if you start to really feel that burn too early, but she gets to look back here across the pool, looking very strong. Paige Conley just clipped there in front of her on the turn.
14-year-old from Whanganui High School, Paige Conley, one of the younger in the field. Tandia Fisher, 13, and Aratua Kore, lane 0. It's still Matt holding a pretty good position. Well, 4th now, Laura Menzies in 9.
Yeah, and overall she's maintaining her splits kind of well. It just seems that the rest of the field really starting to pick up here. Alexis Bassini really starting to pick up that pace, putting herself in the back half of this race. One of the only swimmer here under that 35-second split on those 50s. So she's going to slowly inch her way back into this race out of lane 5.
They turn together with 100 metres to swim, Bassini and Conley. 2 years separating them. Bassini from Rangitoto College.
And not much separating them there as they go through the turn. Coming into the last 50 metres, it's going to be all on here from this wall. Alexis Bassini, that faster split, but she can't quite get herself in front. They're both looking at each other.
Let's look at this Huri, the turn. Conley comes out in front. Starting to emerge out there is Scout Carter in lane 7. Also coming through, Indy leads in Aratuarua, lane 2.
Yeah, Indy leads, took out a number of the distance freestyle events in her age group earlier in the year. She looks like she's having a very strong finish. That stroke rate much higher than the rest of the field, but she may have left it just that little bit too late.
Conley's going to win time final number 2, Rua. And those times all falling behind the entry times. And next up, the 4th and final timed final of the girls 400 metres Kotawhai freestyle. Aratuakore is Holly Nelson. Tahi is Holly McDonald. Grua, Alex McIntosh. Toru, Charlotte Byrne. Fa is Brooke Bennett. Rima, Sophie Hay. Ono is Olivia Bates. Fitu is Kezia Bassini. Waru is Ariella Riley. And Iwa is Elizabeth Brennan. And Brooke Bennett starting off strongly. She had a very good national age groups, Apollo Projects national age groups down there in the Hawke's Bay. It was a long couple of weeks down there for some of those age group swimmers doing both the New Zealand Championships and the age groups.
From what I remember, a long couple of weeks for a lot of people around that pool, but really good swimming. And as we're seeing here, Brooke Bennett carrying on that speed. Really impressive the way she attacks her turns here early in this 400 freestyle. We've mentioned it a lot, how important they are. One of the few people you can really see points those toes as she flicks over, gets those feet onto the wall in a hurry, not wasting any time as she sets herself into this race, and has a very impressive stroke rate early on for a 400 freestyle, and well ahead on the program in here with an entry time of 4:12. Back to 4:21 for Sophie Hayes. So this is Brooke Bennett's race. She really looks to charge early and hold that speed throughout the race. Doesn't die a lot, Brooke Bennett. Very
gutsy.
A very talented distance freestyle swimmer who also complements it with a 50 breaststroke.
I read that.
But she's got the pace to go out fast and hold it. So,
well, she's been rewarded with being a member of the Tri-Series team later in the year in Hamilton. 4th to the 6th of October, they have a camp prior. They race against swimmers from Victoria and Western Australia. And she's one of quite a few talented up-and-coming swimmers, been given the chance to get some real strong race experience later in the year.
Yeah, and such a great opportunity to represent your country. I was lucky enough to do a couple of the Tri-Series back in the day, and it's so much fun. We were lucky enough to travel around a little bit, not just based out of one pool, but such a great opportunity to race some top young swimmers from Australia, not just the one New Zealand versus Australia, but there's 3 teams, and then there's a bit of inter-racing amongst your teams. So a very competitive atmosphere on those Tri-Series trips.
Brooke Bennett here for Villa Maria College, the 17-year-old. She entry time of 4:12. She means business this evening. Let's see what she can do. On her outside is Sophie Hay from Waikato Diocesan School.
Yeah, not a lot of kick happening. Brooke Bennett, very common for her these races. Really relies on that arm speed, that tempo, that strong catch up front to get herself through these early sections of the race. And you'll see her after this 50 metres, she'll really turn on those legs and kick home.
Yeah, she does everything with purpose. She's a true competitor. You can see even though flip turns, the legs come over, smash the wall.
Yeah, and a real compliment to her coaching staff down there at North Canterbury Swim Club. You know, really focusing on those small things. It's a lot of turns in a swim training practice and a lot of commitment to be able to turn like that again and again and again and not ease off the gas pedal.
50 metres to go for Brooke Bennett here. She's the fastest of all of the 4 heats so far. Can she go under a 4:12.36? All of these swimmers, all they want is to go faster than the swim before, faster than their PB. And at certain times of year, you've got to take advantage of that slight rest or taper, as they call it, coming into these bigger championships. Brooke Bennett will be concentrating on the Apollo Projects New Zealand short course in about a month's time. And she touches 4:16.80. Sophie Hay will touch second, a bit of a fight on for third here. And it goes to Ariella Riley out there in Aratua Waru. And there is the replay of Brooke Bennett surging into the finish there, the Mutanga. And quite a margin she held, 4 or 5 body lengths. And we have a quick look at that result. And we'll be back after this short break to kick off the first of our relays.
This isn't an ad about four-wheel drives. It's about knowing the place, as well as the locals.
You found the place. That's a good start. Built by my great-grandfather.
Welcome back to the Aotearoa New Zealand Secondary School Swimming Championships 2024. Move to the next event number 3. And this is the 4x50 metre medley boys relay. There are 2 timed finals. And it will hand you over to our technical officials to get us underway. Aratua Toru, lane 3, King's College A. Aratua Wha, lane 4, Hamilton Boys High School A. Aratua Rima, lane 5, Pinehurst School A. And Aratua Onu, lane 6, Lindisfarne College A. This is the 4x50 metre medley boys relay. Backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly freestyle, the order of the 4x50. That is Ko Tuara, then the Ko Poraka, then we get into the Ko Purerihua, and finish with the Ko Tawhai.
And this one looks all like Pinehurst College here. Ranshang Wang, a great 50 breaststroke there in that 31-second split, looking very dominant over that 50 metres. So it's their race to lose. We saw last year, I was just saying, Scott, a few of these teams maybe got caught up in the excitement of relays last year, so very important. I know these boys are out there racing against each other, trying to win for their school, but still paying attention. Really important not to get eager on these changeovers, not to go too far underwater, really maintain those good skills as we swim through these races.
Absolutely, Matt. Bruce Shen is coming back real quick here for Pinehurst. And they will be the two of the winners of the first time final Pinehurst School A in Aratua Rima. And Aratua Kore, lane 0, Rangitoto College B. Tahi is Mount Albert Grammar School A. Rua is Palmerston North Boys High School. Toru, Whangaparaoa College A. Wha is Auckland Grammar School A. Rima, Palmerston North Boys High School. Ono, Rangitoto College A. Fitu, Westlake Boys High School A. Waru, Westlake Boys High School B. You can sense the atmosphere is building, Matt. Relays always bring out the best.
Yeah, the energy in the room really stepped up the moment this relay entered the water, the fastest boys heat. Case Glenmeyer from Whangaparaoa College really put them off to a great start, but it's all Palmerston North boys at the moment. Really prominent last year at these secondary school meets were Palmerston North boys, so you know they're going to come out flying with two good teams. Lane 7.
Will Parsons here in the butterfly leg for Palmy North.
Westlake boys making a late charge here on the butterfly with Harry Shine.
And it comes down to the freestyle. This is Oscar Pedersen, and in lane 5 it is Charles Jensen, and coming quickly in lane 7, Kyan Peddington.
The Pedersen name one we know, very good at sprinting, so he'll be looking to hold this, but at the moment it's very close to cool. Looks like Charles Jensen though, Palmerston North boys maybe, or no.
Very, very close. Mutu
finish there, and it'll be Whangaparaoa College who win it, 153.97, just 0.2 of a second in it, Matt.
And Oscar Pedersen, the only swimmer there under the 26, one of the swimmers under 26 seconds there, Rangitoto in lane 6, Titus Huang as well. Very good splits there to finish off that relay. Always fun being the anchor leg on a relay team, getting to be a part of that race. I used to always sense myself getting a bit of a smile on watching those last swimmers come into the wall, knowing you get to have a bit of excitement there and maybe get that glory leg coming to the finish.
Move now to event number 4. It is the 4x50 metre medley relay for the girls. There are 2 timed finals, and this is the first lining up ready to go. The second of the time finals, Aratuarua, is Tauranga Girls College A. Toru, Taradale High School A. Wha is Palmerston North Girls High School. Rima, Botany Downs Secondary College. Ono, St Cuthbert's College. Fitu, Sacred Heart Girls College. Now, did you see what happened in the earlier heat there, Matt?
Yes, and as
3 disqualifications.
As I was about to say, very easy to get caught up in the moment, especially in these relays and these final heats. So important to keep a cool head. And, you know, we don't know what those disqualifications are for, but in relays it's more often or not on those changeovers. So very easy to get caught up in the excitement and the atmosphere here tonight. So I'm sure it won't be our last one, but no. 3-in-1 race is pretty intense.
Both of the top Westlake boys high school teams wiped out of the competition through perhaps an early start off the block, we don't know, but they'll be disappointed with that. Away we go into the butterfly leg for Botany Downs Secondary College. This is Leah Wang, and being chased hard by Mia McDonald from St Cuthbert's College, their B team. The freestyle leg to come, Jackie Zhu from St Cuthbert's in 6. Kiri Yamagami is waiting in 5. And away they go in the Kota Phi freestyle.
And a very convincing win here for Botany Downs.
Kiri Yamagami, she is continuing to improve her form. A number of podiums at the Apollo Projects New Zealand Age Group Swimming Champs. Second will go to St Cuthbert's. Third in this time final goes to Sacred Heart Girls. All the action on the other side of the pool. There's the result of the second time final. Next up is the second time final. Aratuakore is St Cuthbert's College A. Tahi is Rangitoto College B. Urua Diocesan School for Girls A. Toru is Mount Albert Grammar A. Wha is Waikato Diocesan A. Rima is Rangitoto College A. Ono, Westlake Girls High School A. Whitu, St Peter's College, Cambridge A. Waru, Whakatane Combined A. And Iwa, St Matthews Collegiate A. And out here in Kore, 0 is Grace Wills. She takes them through in the outside lane.
And hanging on very strong. A really great start here by the St Cuthbert's girls. Mackenzie Tobin, Grace Wills.
Into the Kopureri Hua, the butterfly.
And Amber Lynn from Rangitoto College just popped over the hill after class today to be in these relays. And a very good swim here in lane 4 by Alana Rawson, bringing them right back into the race, the Waikato Diocesan School.
The race is on now. Lani Kim, Tessa Scott in 4, Ellie Gear in 3. It looks like it could be Rangitoto College A. They're going to get there. Chasing hard is Waikato Diocesan. And it's going to be Rangitoto College A gets there, and you can hear the roar from the teammates on poolside. 2:02.89. And it's chalking up another win. Rangitoto College. And that concludes the under 16 relays for the 4x50 metre medley, both boys and girls. That's the result of the second time final. We move now to the 16 and over heats for the boys. There are 3 of them, and behind the block is the first time final.
heat number 1 here for the men's 200 medley relay in lane 1, Tauranga Boys College A. In lane 4, Gisborne Boys High, and lane 5, New Plymouth Boys High School.
Jack Rust doing a good job in this breaststroke leg for New Plymouth Boys High, the 15-year-old. Given a good start by Max Cave. Three-time finals in this event. Now, hypoxic, so important here. They're breathing. And the better the lung capacity, the less breaths they need to take. And often the less breaths, the faster they go. The turn at the other end, the hoodie, that does take quite a lot of breath away. And generally a top Kotawhai freestyler will take 1 breath in the 50-metre free, maybe 2. And this is a win here. Bit of an interesting mutu there. Finish for Brooklyn Taylor. Looked like he was always waving to his teammates coming into the finish. Bit of a mana wave. And that's what you get at the secondary school champs, Matt. The old finger up as it was coming over to finish. Haven't seen that one before. Watching the replay. There it is, number 1. Wouldn't want to do that at the Olympics.
Here's hoping that half a second there doesn't come back to bite them in any way, shape or form.
That's right. Ara Tuatahi, Whakatane combined A. Ara Tuarua 2, Auckland Grammar School A. Toru, Maclean's College A. Wha, Mount Abbott Grammar A. Rima, St Paul's Collegiate A. Ono, King's High School A. Fitu, Westlake Boys High School C. And Waru is Kristen School A. Some good whakatete here, good racing in the second time final. Starting to emerge now in 2 is Auckland Grammar School A. Luke Gibson takes them through, changes over to Luca Williams. And lane 5 for St Paul's, Neo Ehrlich. And a fantastic hoodie, good turn there for Neo Ehrlich. He changes over to Finn Fremantle. Fremantle goes in for St Paul's.
And in lane 2, Harrison Clowens, a very, very good sprinter. He's a sub 23 50 freestyle, a long course. You know he's going to absolutely fly here over this 50 metres. Hard for anyone to keep up with him at the end of this race. We'll have to keep an eye on his split here. 22:53. My goodness gracious, what a fast time.
It's a great time to do and to bring his school through. Auckland Grammar A through to the win of the second time final. We'll make a note of that time, Matt, 1:47.49. And you can hear the warm-ups of the final time final three. Starting to rack each other up, get each other excited. That's what it's all about. Love to know the science behind it, but maybe more mental than physical. That's right. A full 9 lanes for the next one. Aratua Kore, Marlborough Boys College A, Tahi Kings College A, Rua Christ College A, Toru, Hamilton Boys A, Far Nelson College A, Rima Palmerston North Boys. Ono is Rangatoto College A, Fitu Westlake A, Waru is St Andrews A, and Iwa is Westlake B. Action in the middle of the pool, 3, 5, and 7.
Yeah, and another final heat, another strong showing by Palmerston North and Westlake Boys. Benson Lee over there from Westlake Boys, a very good breaststroker in our age group system, really sticking it to the field. As the whistles go up, the common trend for breaststroke is getting that moment their heads above the water, but Westlake Boys off to a great lead here. Jacob Humphreys, a very good changeover, strong underwaters.
Fantastic Ruku dive by Alexander Willis from Palmy North. He's just edged himself into second here, but Westlake Boys High School will change to Troy Blay-Levins. And I think the team's done enough here, Matt.
It does.
He's well out in front, but this is a very fast final 50 from Orlando Hardy.
Orlando Hardy can move. It may be a distance too far, but those first two strokes of this 25 looking good. We've already seen a 22-5 split here on this relay, but it will be Westlake Boys, a 22-9 by Orlando Hardy to put them in the race, but just a little bit too late.
And those times certainly eclipsed from the earlier time finals, so no problem there. The first to third were identified in that final race there.
And as always, relays on the first night of a meet always tend to send that excitement out through the field, knowing what people are doing in 50s before a couple of days beforehand. So sure, a couple of these boys will be looking at each other's splits, knowing who's on form, who's not, going into that 50 freestyle, I believe, tomorrow.
And one DQ there for Marlborough Boys College A. We move now to event 6, the girls 4x50 metre medley relay. There are 3 time finals. This is time final number 1. Aratua Toru is St Cuthbert's College A. Aratuawha, lane 4, Palmerston North Girls High School A. And Aratuarima, lane 5, Pinehurst School A.
And a few familiar names popping up here in this Pinehurst School. Alyssa Liu, a very, very good short course swimmer. We've seen her pop up a number of times recently, handing over to Jasmine Lyles, a national age group champion in the breaststroke events. The pull-out also important in these short course races. So easy, no 15-metre limit in the breaststroke off those oars, so trying to stretch that out as far as you can. And still very convincingly here into the 150-metre wall. It is Pinehurst School handing over to Jade Lyles, a 13-year-old. So we're already seeing some schools maybe racing in that age group up just to make sure they get a team in there. But a very, very strong swim here early on by Pinehurst.
Next up, the second of three time finals here for the girls 4x50 metre medley relay 16 and over. Aratuakore, Havelock North High School A. Tahi, Waimea College A. Rua, Gisborne A. Toru, Whakatane Combined A. Wha, St Hilda's Collegiate A. Rima, St Peter's School A. Ono, Tauranga Girls College A. Whitu, Stratford High School A. Waru, Gisborne Girls High School A. Nice start out there in Waru by lane 8 by Brianna Latu. And also in Kore, lane 0 here is Kate Wisnowski. Starting to come through the middle of the field here in 4 is Lily McGrath. And lane 6, yes it is Tetsani Thompson.
Yeah, and Gisborne Girls off to a great start here. Rio Sasamoto heading into the 50-metre butterfly leg. Still very commanding, but as we've seen in the last couple of heats, that over 50 metres, that distance can absolutely Short and up, but looking very convincing here by the girls from Gisborne. Into the water second goes St Hilda's Collegiate. That's Charlotte Aburn.
Holly McDonald anchoring home the Gisborne Girls High School A team. I think they've done enough to hold this lead and win the second of 3-time finals. Fast finishing Ariana Roberts in lane 6. And third to the wall, St Hilda's Collegiate A. Three of those teams swimming faster than their entry time in the middle of the pool, 3 through 5. Ara Tuakore is Woodford House A. Tahi, Rangitoto College B. Rua, Waikato Diocesan School A. Toru, Rangitoto College A. Fa, Rangitoto College A. Toru was Diocesan School for Girls A. Rima, 5, Barradine College A. Ono, Villa Maria College A. Fitu, St Paul's Collegiate A. Wharu, Rangiora High School A. Iwa, Mount Albert Grammar School A. And what a commanding lead so far for Amelia Bray. And Amelia has had a fantastic last few years. Now competing for North Shore. Still training, but there's some sort of connection with North Shore now. Speaking to Sandra Bray.
Yeah, and a very good start by the Barradine girls. Isabella Gibson in that backstroke. Amelia Bray in the butterfly. Two very good swimmers. Both New Zealand representatives at the age group level. Both on their way to the Junior Pan Packs later this year over in Canberra. So hard to beat them early on in this relay, but coming back at them now, it is Rangitoto College, Anya Moritz. She hands it over to Kezia Bussini. But the early work by Isabel Gibson, Amelia Bray, looks like it will be enough potentially for Barradine to take this one out.
Good work off that wall there for Isla Petherbridge to bring home the Barradine team. Rangitoto College gets second. Diocesan third to the wall. And a notable good finish there for Brooke Bennett, straight off her 400 freestyle, bringing it home in the 50 freestyle for Villa Maria College A. I think just out of the medals, just out of the placings. Some good, fierce competition here. Some great whakatete racing. There's the result. A DQ there for Villa Maria. 3 DQs. Come on, guys. And we'll be back after this short break for the 4x100 metre freestyle relays. Thanks for joining us.
Global warming is incredibly serious. We need to cut emissions, but we need to also absorb carbon out of the atmosphere. Growing trees is the only tool we have in the toolbox for taking carbon out of the atmosphere that we can do at scale. Pinus radiata takes carbon out of the atmosphere at about 5 to 10 times the rate of native planting. And so what New Zealand Carbon Farming are doing is planting the Pinus radiata to absorb the carbon, and then they're transitioning that forest into native forest so that we get the biodiversity benefit.
Welcome back to the Aotearoa New Zealand Secondary School Swimming Championships live in Tamaki Makaurau at the National Aquatic Centre. We move now to Event 7, the 4x100 metre ko-tawhai freestyle relay for the boys. There are 2 time finals. This is time final number 1. Aratua Wha, lane 4, Hamilton Boys High School. And Aratua Rima, lane 5, Mount Albert Grammar School A. This is the 4x100 metre ko-tawhai freestyle relay.
through the first 300 metres. Mount Albert Grammar hanging on to that 1 minute barrier. They pass it off to Hayden Stone, looking to close it out, seeing if he can get them here under that 4 minute mark to start off these boys 15 and under 400 freestyle relays. Good start with a 28.5 on his way out through the first 50, swimming out there alone. And ever so slightly, Mount Albert Grammar A taking out the heat number 1 of the 400 freestyle relay in a 3:59.84.
Aratua Kore, Lindisfarne College A. Tahi 1, Westlake Boys High School B. Rua, Palmerston North Boys School. Toru, Rangitoto College A. Wha, Whangaparaoa A. Rima, Palmerston North. Ono, Westlake A. Fitu, Rangitoto B. Waru, Auckland Grammar A. Iwa, Pinehurst A. And away smartly in 0 is Sam Skidmore. He's on par with lane 5's Eric Wong, and out there in 9 is Osbert Gu.
Very strong first opening hundreds here. Sam Skidmore won that 53.84, very good lead-off leg. We'll see how well they can hold on here. Lindisfarne over in lane 0.
And this is Monty Douglas for Lindisfarne.
And Charles Jesson from Palmerston North Boys. Again, a few of these swimmers we're starting to see into the water for their second swims of the night, whether it's the 400 to the 100 or maybe their second relay swim. So not a huge amount of time to get back there and warm down between races.
Yeah, they want to get some good whakata rest in that warm-down pool between their races, flush out some of that lactic acid. And now the lead has been taken by Palmerston North's Charles Jensen. He's done a good 100 here. He touches over for Max Chase. Chase is away. Arthur Schmocker in lane 4 is a body length behind him.
And Arthur Schmocker of Whangapoa College really started to look like he closed that gap very quickly in that first 25.
And the last two to line up, Alex Sanford and Chris Kumala in 3, Sam Rowe from Palmy North.
Max Chase just hanging in there, right on the heels, right on the hips. Ever so slowly closing that gap, 0.1 of a second over the last 50 metres. Where he comes over this last 25 metres with the 100. It's going to be a great finish here.
Could this be a win for Whangaparaoa College? They were fastest on paper. Are they going to back it up?
Sam Rowe for Palmerston North boys. Alex Sanford, he's already had a great swim here this evening in the 400-metre freestyle. We saw him close out well.
Half a body length lead with 50 metres to go. Whangaparaoa College versus Palmerston North boys.
Really maintains a good long arm stroke while keeping that tempo up really, really nicely.
Third sitting out there in 8 is Michael Son of Auckland Grammar. 25 to swim for Alex Sanford for his Whangaparaoa team. He's got it sewn up here. A 3:44, a second under their entry time, finishing with class. And the team is pretty happy. High fives all round. Big drive on that left arm and surges into the finish there. The mutu. Quite a spread in that time final. Close up the front end and then some good gaps back to the rest of the field. Can't repeat what he just said, but it was a lot of joy to win the title for Whangaparaoa. And next up is event 8, the first of 2 time finals in the girls. 4x100 metre Kotawhai freestyle. Aratua Toru is Mount Albert Grammar School A. Aratua Wha 4 is St Matthew's Collegiate A. And Aratua Rima 5, Palmerston North Girls High School. Alina Rees Utai takes out the first 100 for Mount Albert Grammar A. Ali Gear goes in, followed by Sophie Rees in 4, Alicia Jeffries in 5. Navia Sood goes in for Mount Albert Grammar. Alexandria Bradshaw for St Matthews. Sophie Booth for Palmerston North. And Palmerston North has come up to second now.
Into the water now for Mount Albert Grammar. Kitty Lovat leads the way. A little bit of a battle going on for second and third. Charlie Grenfell, St Matthews Collegiate, and Maggie Thompson of Palmerston North. Girls, the race is all here for first place though. Kitty Lovat, 30.0, really good opening 50. And it will comfortably be Mount Albert Grammar School A taking out this first of two timed finals of the girls 15 and under 400 metre freestyle relay. Second to Palmerston North girls. Third to St Matthews Collegiate. And we move on now to the second and final heat, timed final, of this event.
Aratua Kore, Sacred Heart Girls. Tahi, St Cuthbert's College. Rua, St Peter's School A. Toru, Diocesan A. Wha, Rangitoto College A. Rima, Waikato Diocesan A. Ono, Rangitoto B. Fitu, Whakatane Combined A. Waru, Taradale High School A. Iwa, Tauranga Girls College A. Paige Stringer takes out Waikato Diocesan. Also having a good first 100 is Lane 9, Iwa, Tauranga Girls, Karina Roberts. Tahi Lane 1, Mackenzie Tobin changes over for Cloris Ding. And leading the way at the moment, it is Gemma Hay in 5 from Waikato Diocesan and Madeline Van Vliet from Tauranga Girls in 9. Good battle on here from the Bay of Plenty schools. Bay of Plenty and the Waikato School.
And Gemma Hay having a really good first 50 there. In lane 5.
Still very even.
A very considerable difference in the stroke rate though. Gemma Hay here from Waikato Diocesan School really taking it to the field.
Yeah, she's wanting to put her teammate, Tessa Scott, in a good position. And away Tessa Scott goes, bit of a flat dive. She goes in. And the challenge coming now from Aratuatahi Lane 1's Mila Tongalia. No, it's Melody Ding. Apologies. Melody Ding, one ahead of ourselves here, one ahead for myself.
Still hanging in there. Over in lane EY, lane 9, Renee Dresser from Tauranga Girls. She is hanging in there. Really saved it. They would look like the Diakadestan Girls School was going to take off with it, but the Tauranga Girls are fighting back for sure. And almost the battle for third and fourth is starting to close up on the leaders a little bit here. This could be a very interesting last 100 metres of this race.
So Isabella Blackmore finishing up, and now Tessa Scott in the water now. That intensity's raised now. Rating is high. Turns, it's still Iwa Lane 9, Lily Smith. Can she hold on to a podium position? Can she get on top of the podium? 60 metres to swim, we're going to find out. It's going to be a close finish.
Looks like Tessa Scott might have the lead, might be too far to catch her here over the last 35 metres.
Lani Kim coming home strongly for Rangitoto College in 4.
Lani Kim doing her absolute best. Every single stroke, just getting a little bit more distance up there. But Tessa Scott's going to hang on there, I think, right into this end, half a body length in the end.
Lane 5 gets it by 0.5 of a second. Fantastic Mutu there, fantastic finish. Very close. And the team from Waikato Diocesan pretty happy with that. Just hung on from a very fast finishing Rangitoto College and Lani Kim. Third went to St Cuthbert's College A out there in Aratuatahi Lane 1. Well done to all of our school teams in that event number 8. We move now to event 9, the first of 2 time finals for the boys 4x100 metre freestyle relay. Aratua Kore, Tauranga Boys College A. Tahi, New Plymouth Boys High School. Rua, Gisborne Boys High School A. Toru, Whakatane Combined A. Wha, Westlake C. Rima, St Paul's A. Ono, Kristen A. Fitu, Auckland Grammar A. Waru, Mount Albert Grammar School A.
And immediately Harrison Clowns, we just saw him at the back end of that 50 relay, a 22.5, and he's coming out flying here for this first leg of the 100 metre freestyle for Auckland Grammar. Keep an eye on the time as he comes into the wall. It's going to be a 51.01. Really setting up Auckland Grammar nicely there.
Now, Matt, you've been from Christchurch, but there's certainly some rivalry between the schools on the south side of the bridge and the north side of the bridge. The Westlake, Auckland Grammar, doesn't get better than that, especially in rugby, but it'll also happen over the next 3 days.
Yeah, I suppose it's great to see that sort of competitiveness go through all of the sports in school. Very similar back home, the Christ College and Boys High situation, I imagine. But you know, a lot of pride for these, especially for these boys, these 17, 18-year-olds. They've gone through their 5 years of high school, really trying to promote that pride, maybe a sport that doesn't get as much recognition. So getting that opportunity to come in here, race, challenge the other schools. Auckland Grammar getting that chance to top off Westlake, but this is only Heat 1. We don't know what's coming in this next heat, but absolutely everything they've got here to make sure they set a good time, to make sure those boys in the second heat have to chase.
Oscar Bauer now in the water for Auckland Grammar, the 17-year-old. And Westlake boys have Jack Zeng. So Finn Fremantle in 5. Trailing back is Jack Zeng, but second is St Paul's Collegiate. This is one we might need to keep a record of the time in, but a fast time final to come. Finishing up for Auckland Grammar School, Luca Williams comes in with 50 to go. What were you talking about? We need counters?
Yeah.
We need counters in these relays, Matt.
Telling you, anything that's a double-digit amount of laps should definitely have numbers on the other end of the pool.
Oh, you've got a job to do, Matt. You've got some convincing to do of the officials. Now you've retired. And in he comes, Luca Williams. 3:38.70. The fastest 9 Iwa teams here in the 4x100 metre boys Ko Tawhai freestyle relay. In Kore, it's Westlake B. Tahi, it's Kings A. Rangatoto A. Rua. Toru is Westlake A. Far, Nelson A. Rima is Hamilton A. Ono is Palmerston North. Fitu, Marlborough Boys College A, Waru. Maclean's College A, Iwa. St Andrews College A. Ethan McDonald takes the Hamilton Boys High School A team out. Leading the charge, Miles Julian goes down in his first lap of the 100. Great turn there, great underwater work, gets a clear body length down his first 50.
And really great explosive work over those first couple of strokes, really not using that breakout to carry on that momentum from that underwater. So important to get that good catch and explode out, not breaking out too late, too early. Doing a very good job maintaining speed, and right now it is all Hamilton boys, and they've got an absolute rocket in Orlando Hardy on their last leg, but right now it's coming down to Max Downey.
Max Downey, Jacob Humphreys for Westlake in 3 will kick off.
Jacob Humphreys as well can really move over 100 metres, so he'll be looking to close this gap. I think this race might finish a little bit closer than it is right now. But at the moment, Hamilton boys have their hand on the title here.
Orlando Hardy pumping himself up for the final 100. He's got a good body length and a half lead over Westlake boys. Westlake will send into the water William Delamere.
And Hamilton boys, Orlando Hardy, we saw him go 22.9 in the 50 freestyle split before. Huge first kick as he comes out of the water there.
Putting a few breaths in that first 25. Doesn't breathe off the turn, that's good. Powering down the first 50. Convincing, looking convincing at the moment. It's going to be hard for Westlake to catch him.
Turn. He's flying down the pool though. Through that first 50 in 24.17. But looking to split this in about a 51, a double breath again into the turn, making sure he's got the distance on the field. Probably got the time to ease up on this one here. Hamilton boys very convincingly.
And wins it for Hamilton Boys High School A, a 26.65, so a 50 point there by the looks of it, Matt, 50 late for Orlando Hardy to anchor home, bring home his Hamilton Boys High School team. Second goes to Westlake Boys High School A, third Palmerston North Boys High School A. A 5-second margin. The boys really put in the hard work early on, and Orlando Hardy brought it home. That concludes event Iwa number 9. We move now to event Tikau number 10. The 4x100 metre freestyle relay for the girls. And there are 2 time finals. This is time final number 1. Ara Tuatahi, lane 1, Gisborne Combined A. Rua, Pinehurst School A. Toru, Tauranga Girls A. Wha, Woodford House A. Rima is Whakatane Combined A. Onu, Palmerston North Girls A. Fitu, Mount Albert Grammar A. Waru, Gisborne Girls High School A. coming through the 250-metre mark here. Aratua Rua, lane 2, and Aratua Toru, lane 3, pretty close here. Pinehurst School, Arissa Liu and Tetsani Thompson from Tauranga Girls in 3, keeping the race going between them. Chopping and changing the lead. And they're going to leave the decision on who wins to Eleanor Saunders of Pinehurst and Olivia Jenkins of Tauranga Girls. And that was a fantastic Tiamata start from lane 2's Eleanor Saunders. They pretty much left together. There's already a body length plus.
And the relay changeover is so important. Obviously, you don't have to wait until your teammate touches the wall. All you need to do is at least have one toe left on those blocks when they touch that wall. So being able to maximise getting that momentum early, timing it right, and so much of that comes down. You'll find so many of these swimmers that swim for the same club have probably had way more practice in timing their teammates and knowing how they finish a race and being able to trust that they're not going to take an extra stroke here and there. And if you can really nail that momentum, that speed off that changeover, it translates so well into that first 15 metres of the race. And we see that here from Eleanor Saunders.
Yeah, Eleanor Saunders wins it, Matt. That was a good 100 from her. She did a 32 in that second 50. Gisborne's 32.43. The other thing about the changeovers and that consistency of the swimmer coming into the wall, that has to be practiced. That has to be something quite conscious, doesn't it, to make sure there's not an unexpected half stroke or something like that that's going to disrupt that one leaving.
Absolutely, and nothing frustrates you more going into a relay when you see, as you take off, you see your swimmer's arm disappear below as they go to take an extra stroke, and you just see it in your mind going, wow, oh no, as you go off. So much trust between swimmers, and so much practice takes place to get those so perfect.
And when you get to the likes of the Olympic Games and there's 4 gold medals up to grabs, that is something that is practiced a lot leading in. We move now to the second time final of event Te Ko, number 10. Aratua Kore, St Peter's A, Tahi, Rangitoto B, Rua, Diocesan A, Toru, Rangitoto A, Wha, Barradine A, Rima, Villa Maria College A, Ono, Waikato, Diocesan A, Whitu, St Paul's Collegiate A, Waru, Rangiora High School A, and Iwa, Westlake A. Now Barradine, they won the last one. They're wanting to back this one up, the girls from Barradine, and many of the familiar faces right back in there.
Yeah, I was about to say they won that medley relay off that great opening half by Isabel Gibson and Amelia Bray. And Isabel Gibson setting them up nice and early here, but not to be forgotten is Alex Campion of Diakisan School for Girls A. So great opening 100 by them. Into the water now for for Barradine, Isla Petherbridge.
New Zealand record holder in the breaststroke events, Monique Wirazowski, she'll be in next for Rangitoto College. The Bassini sisters. All of the North Shore girls there. And Isla Petherbridge for Barradine leads the way at the moment.
She will hand over to the youngster on the team, Kayla Knight, the 15-year-old. putting her in there before handing it back over to Amelia Bray, national champion in the 100-metre butterfly, back at age groups. .157 there through the first half of this race. A really good start by the Barradine girls. Second, Villa Maria hanging in there. In the water now for Villa is Grace Henderson.
Some great speed here by Kayla Knight. A third of a length lead at the moment. The race will be on for second and third. Grace Henderson for Villa Maria. And here in two is Grace Jeromson.
And we saw Brooke Bennett earlier in the 400-metre freestyle. She's going to go into the water last for Villa Maria. The chance to claim them perhaps second place if they can keep ahead of that final time. But Amelia Bray has a fairly easy job here to close out this 400 freestyle relay.
Super fast rating down that first 25 for Amelia Bray. No one's going to come close. Hopefully their touches have been good, and Barradine will take out a second title here this evening. 2 relays from 2 relays. Edging ahead at the moment is Brooke Bennett of Villa Maria. The third race she's done tonight. Both relays in the 400 metres freestyle, where she won earlier. Second is Xanthi Miller. Coming up in the middle of the pool is Anna Moritz. But it'll be a convincing win for Barradine. Amelia Bray wins it. Comes back in a 28.62, Matt. That could have been a 55, perhaps. Be interesting to see what that came on. We'll have a look. 350.63. Big smiles. .56 for Amelia Bray to finish up and win. That concludes the racing for tonight's session. We will now ask you to put your hands together and thank our technical officials for their time and attention this evening. We'll be back after this short break with the medal ceremonies for tonight's events.
This isn't an ad about four-wheel drives. It's about knowing the place, as well as the locals.
You found the place. That's a good start. Built by my great-grandfather.
Hey! Sport is about more than just a game. It's about going from teammates to best mates. It's the high fives and helping hands. It's saluting when to back yourself or back your buddies. It's actually being excited to get out of bed early on a Saturday. Sport is about more than just the game. That's why Caltex is proud to help fuel school sports.
This is an opportunity that we can't pass up.
Welcome back into the Aotearoa New Zealand Secondary School Swimming Championships. That concludes the racing for session number 1 of 6. And a great way to get a swim in. A lot of those swimmers taking part in the relays. First opportunity to see how they're feeling, see what their form's like for the rest of the championships. And Matt, kicking off with that 400 freestyle for the boys, there was a standout performance in that. What was it for you?
Yeah, I thought all around the men's 400 freestyle was very, very good. 6 swimmers there under the 4-minute barrier. Really, really good impressive swimming across the age groups. But I think the standout swim of the day has to go to Leo English, 14 years old. Came off a national record last weekend at 3:59.5 and smashed that again tonight here at a 3:57.6. So, to be 14, dropping that much time, to be that far under not only your best time, but the previous national record. Very impressive here on night 1.
I think some of these swimmers should be proud of their performances in that 400. Many green times on the board we see in the venue here, which shows the fastest time, their entry time. That's what they're after. Well done to them. Asher Smith-Franklin swimming an incredible 400-metre 4:15, which seemed to be well underneath his New Zealand record for the S14 class.
Yeah, the previous record 4:26, so been a while since he swum the 400 freestyle, obviously taking a huge amount of time there. And, Asher Smith-Franklin, every time we talk about him, it seems to be talking about national records. So such an outstanding swimmer, not just for the para-athletes, but just outstanding swimmer, athlete all around. So.
And then we headed into the relays. A quick mention of Brooke Bennett. She did that 400, had a great swim there, and then headed in and did both relays for her school. But really that excitement with the relays, you could feel it, you could hear it. The schools love it.
Yeah, and absolutely. And as I said, the excitement can really get the better of some teams. We saw a few DQs, multiple races. As well, a couple of the boys, Harrison Clowns, Orlando Hardy, showing some really promising 50 freestyle speed early on. So as I said, they'll be looking at that, knowing what they've got going into this 50 freestyle later this weekend. And obviously a shout out to the Barradine girls, 16 and over, taking out the double there in the medley and the 400 freestyle relay.
Yeah, there's a few more relays to come, so I'm sure the schools will be taking a tally and working out how many they've got, but Barradine's going to be hard to beat this week for sure. That's a wrap of tonight's session. We're going to be back after a short break to run through our medal presentations for tonight's session.
Apollo Projects is New Zealand's trusted specialist for the design and construction of sports, aquatics and education centres, and is proud to be the principal sponsor of Swimming New Zealand.
Kia ora and welcome back to the 2024 Aotearoa Secondary School Championships here in Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland. We are back and ready to get underway for the medal ceremonies of tonight's event. Tonight's medals are being presented by Summer Osborne, Aqua Black number 286, and a Rangitoto College alumni. The first event is the boys 13 years 400 meter freestyle. In bronze, Henry Wang, Rangitoto College. And the bronze medal in the men's 13-year-olds 400 meter freestyle, Henry Wang, Rangitoto College. The silver medal, Yifan Zhang, St. Kentigern College. And the gold medal, Charlie Dickerson, Scots College. The medals now for the 14-year-old boys 400 meter freestyle. The bronze, Sheldon Hogan, Tauranga Boys College. The silver medal, Alex Sanford, Whangaparoa College. And the gold medal in a new 14-year-old national age group record time from Rotorua Boys, Leo English. The medals now for the 15-year-old boys 400 meter freestyle. The bronze medal from Burnside High School, Soren Wells. The silver from Westlake Boys, Jacob Humphreys. And the gold from John Paul College, Ariel Machirahondo. The medals now for the 16-year-old boys 400 meter freestyle. The bronze from Mount Roskill Grammar, Daniel Kretig. The silver medal from King's High School, Alfie Weatherston Harvey. And the gold medal from Glendowie College, Fraser Walker. And the medals now for the 17 and 18-year-old boys. The bronze from Marlborough Boys, Jack Love. The silver medal from Linfield College, Kevin Zhang. And the gold from Rangitoto College, Brendan Visser. Moving on now to the medals for event number 2, the girls 400 meter freestyle, starting with the 13-year-old age group. The bronze medal from Villa Maria, Tandia Fisher. The silver medal from Rangiruru Girls School, Indy Leeds. And the gold from Rangitoto College, Helena Yule. The medals now for the 14-year-old girls. Fourteen-year-old girls, 400-metre freestyle. The bronze medal from Rolleston College, Laura Menzies. The silver medal from Woodford House, Millie Skidmore. And the gold medal from Wanganui High School, Paige Conley. The medals now for the 15-year-old girls 400-metre freestyle. The bronze from Sacred Heart, Mila Gwudzinski. The silver medal from Queen Margaret College, Marina Nadilo. And the gold medal from Glendowie College, Alex McIntosh. Your medalists now for the 16-year-old girls 400-metre freestyle. The bronze goes to Charlotte Aburn, St Hilda's Collegiate. The silver from Epsom Girls Grammar, Olivia Bates. And the gold medal from Waikato Diakesan School, Ariella Riley. The medalists now for the 17 and 18-year-old girls. The bronze from Villa Maria, Grace Henderson. The silver from Waikato Diakesan School, Sophie Hay. And the gold from Villa Maria, Brooke Bennett. We move on now to the medals for event number 3, the boys 15 and under 4x50 medley relay. The bronze medal goes to Palmerston North Boys High School, Sam Rowe, Eric Wong, Will Parsons and Charles Jesson. The silver medal goes to Whangaparoa College, Case Glintmeyer, Arthur Schmocker, Alex Sanford and Oscar Pedersen. And the gold medal goes to Pinehurst School, Osbert Gu, Ransheng Wang, Sunny Liu, and Bruce Shen. Medals now for event number 4, the women's 15 and under 4x50 medley relay. The bronze goes to St. Cuthbert's College, Epsom. Mackenzie Tobin, Grace Wills, Melody Ding, and Mila Tongalea. Your silver medalists from Rangitoto College, Helena Yule, India Vaughan, Amber Lynn, and Lani Kim. And your gold medalists from Botany Downs Secondary School, Clementine Zhang, Alyssa Wangford, Leah Yang, and Kitty Yamagami. Your medalists now for event number 5, men's 16 and over 200 medley relay. Your bronze medalists from Palmerston North boys, Joshua Carroll, Ian Sui, Alexander Willis, and Tariq Billinghurst. Your silver medalists, Hamilton boys, Ethan McDonald, Miles Julian, Max Downey, and Orlando Hardy. And your gold medalists, Westlake boys, Brandon Holder, Benson Lee, Jacob Humphreys, and Troy Blolevins. Medals now for event number 6, the women's 16 and over 200 medley relay. Your bronze medalists from Pinehurst: Arissa Liu, Jasmine Lyles, Eleanor Saunders, and Jade Lyles. Your silver medalists from Rangitoto College: Holly Nelson, Monique Wierzowski, Anya Moritz, and Kezia Busini. And your gold medalists: Barradine College, Isabel Gibson, Amelia Bray, Sophia Bray, and Isla Petherbridge. Moving on now to the medals for event number 7, the 400 freestyle relay. We'll start with the 15 and under men. Your bronze medalists from Pinehurst: Osbert Gu, Ranshang Wang, Sunny Liu, and Bruce Shen. Your silver medalists now: Palmerston North boys: Eric Wong, Charles Jessen, Max Chase, and Sam Rao. And the gold medals go to Whangaparoa College: Oscar Peterson, Case Glintmeyer, Arthur Schmocker, and Alex Sanford. Medals now for event number 8, the 400 metre freestyle women's 15 and under. Your bronze medalists from St. Cuthbert's College, Epsom, Mackenzie Tobin, Cloris Ding, Melody Ding, and Mila Tongalea. Your silver medalists from Rangitoto College, Amber Lynn, Jasmine Reeder, Helena Yule, and Alani Kim. And your gold medalists from Waikato Diakesan School, Paige Stringer, Gemma Hay, Isabel Blackmore, and Tessa Scott. Moving on now to event number 9, the 400 metre freestyle men's 16 and over age group. The bronze medal goes to Rangitoto College, Owen Bow, Ryan Burke, Nicholas Cohen, and Brendan Visser. The silver medal to Palmerston North boys, Alexander Willis, Tariq Billinghurst, Jack Rao, and Joshua Carroll. And your gold medalists from Westlake boys, Brandon Holder, Troy Blylevens, Jacob Humphreys, and William Delamere. And your medals for event number 10, the women's 16 and over 400 freestyle relay. The bronze medal, the Diakesan School for Girls, Alex Campion, Frankie Dudunsky, Grace Jeremson, and Xanthi Miller. The silver medal to Villa Maria, Tandia Fisher, Bridie Quayle, Grace Henderson and Brooke Bennett. And your gold medalists from Barradine, Isabel Gibson, Isla Petherbridge, Kayla Knight and Amelia Bray. That wraps up our medal ceremonies here for this evening. Congratulations to all our medal winners. Thank you to Summer Osborne for handing out those medals, and thank you to All Proof Industries, our medal sponsors here at these national championships this weekend.
Thank you, Matt. Well, a great first session tonight. 5 remain. We kick off tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. with a relay, the 2x50 metre freestyle relay, followed by a whole lot of individual events. The 100 IM for both boys and girls and multi-class, the 200 breaststroke, then the 100 backstroke with multi-class as well, finishing off with the 2x50 metre freestyle relay. A great way to finish. Congratulations to all of our medalists tonight and all of our swimmers collecting PBs and good times. And for those joining us on our coverage on Whakaata Māori, thank you for joining us. Noho ora mai rā.